Hello guys, welcome to another episode with the Lazy Medic, and it's a week away from JAMB. And I know a lot of you guys will be thinking, you'll be like, how do I study? What do I do? What do I not do? This video is aimed at giving you smarter ways to study, not necessarily harder ways, because a lot of people will be like, it's 1 week to JAMB. Let me try to cover as much as I can within the space. So all the workload that I have not read for the past 2-3 months, it's within this 1 week that you actually meet people who want to cover it. And that is not an effective strategy at all. That's actually you trying to read harder. These are 10 effective ways which will help you study smarter, not necessarily studying harder. Number 1, set a study schedule. At this point in your life, you need a study schedule. There is no need trying to read anywhere I feel like. Maybe I wake up in the morning feeling like answering biology, feel like answering physics. This is not the time to be doing that. Have a steady schedule, have a constant schedule. You only need to keep it for a week. I mean, you usually only need to be obedient to that schedule for just 1 week. You can do it. It's not hard. It's not impossible. You can actually do it. So have a study schedule. Have a consistent study schedule. Number 2, practice with past questions. Past questions is supposed to also how difficult or how easy the exam is, or how easy a topic is. So you want to know, you want to be aware of the exam formats. Going through past questions at this point, it actually puts your mind in the exam. Actually puts your mind in the format of the exam. How the exam is based. What am I supposed to know? What am I not supposed to know? How can I keep to time? So the exam is 2 hours. How exactly do I answer all my questions within the span of 2 hours? Not leaving about 15 questions unanswered, whereas the time has already gone. No, you want to answer past questions. So you want to answer past questions to start avoiding mistakes like that. Number 3, focus on your weak areas. This is not the time to over-glorify your strengths. This is not the time to overemphasize on topics where you know you are very good at, and whereas there are some topics that you know that you don't really understand or you have issues answering. You should actually spend more time answering those kind of topics. Focus on those kind of topics. Trying to manage exam anxiety. If it's a week to the JAMB, and this exam will actually determine the next 1 year of your life, and I understand that you'll be feeling anxious, start practicing steps which will help you manage exam anxiety, First of all, be familiar. If you're familiar with the nature of questions beforehand, actually helps you be less anxious about the exam. Start visualizing how the exam is going to be. You may be like, it's not so much of a big deal, but trust me, exam anxiety is actually a big deal. I've seen students who forgot points they read or things they knew because they were so anxious about the exam. So it's like they just went blank after they saw the questions. Why? Because they were very anxious. So you want to start visualizing how the exam will be. Start familiarizing yourself with the nature of the exam. Set realistic goals. This is not the time to be saying I'll read 180 pages in a day, whereas you know that the maximum number of pages you have read in 1 day is 15. Set realistic goals for yourself. That's also a way we should not be, and that's also a way we should not feel overwhelmed. Because when your goals are so unrealistic, I'm going to finish 18 chapters today. Whereas at my best, I've read just 7 chapters. Of course, you can choose to extend it. You can choose to push for more. Like, I'm going to go for 9 chapters today. You want to set goals that are very realistic to you. You know your limits. You know your strengths. You know your weaknesses. Let your goals border around those things. Take breaks. A lot of things may be like, this is the time that I should just burn 9 hours straight. I just burned 9 hours straight. For the last 9 hours, I was sitting down. I was just reading. A lot of things may be like that. But that's not so effective, because within the course of 9 hours, you actually see that you forgot most of the things you read. You like to ask you a question, you like to quiz you based on something within that 9 hours. You may not be able to remember. So what you want to employ is the Pomodoro technique, where you get to read for some time, take short breaks, continue with the reading, take a break, continue reading. Why use this study technique? Because it prevents burnout. You may have, I'm sure that many of us have experienced where like we're reading for a lot of hours, then suddenly there was nothing there. There was still nothing there again. You're too tired to read, you're too tired to go on. Taking a break helps you refresh yourself, helps you recollect what you've read within the previous session, and prepares you for the next session. So in that break, you could walk around. That's not the time to go on social media and start taking a 5 to 10 minutes break. You have spent 2 hours scrolling through WhatsApp. What for? There's no reason for that. So employ the Pomodoro technique. Within a short burst of time, it could be 25 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, while taking breaks. After about an hour, you can take 10 minutes break, then go to the next hour, 10 minutes break. That's how you employ the Pomodoro technique. That's how you prevent burnout when you're reading. And it helps you recollect what you've read in previous session. Practice active recall. Basically, try to recall things without looking at your notes. And the past questions also help in that. But try to see, especially in the area of diagrams, try to see if you can recall a particular label of a diagram without looking at the notes. So you want to know how to recall these things without looking at the textbook, without looking at the notebook. Facts, constant in physics, constant in mathematics, constant in chemistry. You want to know, you want to see and recall those things without looking at the textbook, without looking at the notebook, without looking at where you're writing them from. 8. Avoid distractions. Not the time to be spending all your time on things that don't matter. Just take out this time. Use it to focus on your academics. Use it to focus on what's important. Use it to focus on what's priority. And that's your JAMB. And so you want to actually focus on that. Remove distractions from your environment. If you're someone that has a habit of scrolling through social media, let's say you're reading your phone, then try to read without your phone. Try to read without the use of an aid. You may ask, so how do I time myself? You could use other things like a stopwatch or like your wristwatch. So you could use it as a timer. There's no need tempting yourself. So you want to avoid distractions as much as possible within this period. Take practice test. You know that this exam is a computer-based exam, and some of you may be used to answering while others may not be used to computer-based tests. So you want to start practicing exam simulators like my school app. You better see like taking JAMB, which actually puts you in the right frame of mind for the exam, and start simulating the exam conditions right from today. The environment decluttered as much as possible. In the thumbnail, you saw that there were lots of clothes around me, and I was trying to read 2 textbooks at the same time, while other textbooks were still on the table. Try to have a decluttered environment as much as possible. This is not the time where you're looking for, where you be saying, "Mommy, where's my exam slip? Mommy, do you know where is this? Daddy, do you know where is this?" Or you keep asking your brothers or your siblings or your sisters or people, your friends, "Do you know where is this? Where is that?" This is not the time to be looking for things up and down. No. Let your environment be decluttered. Let your environment be neat as much as possible. It's easier to get into a state of flow. Like in a space that's less cluttered, in a space that's less in disarray. And then don't try to read too many things at the same time. See, you have just one brain. It's only one brain that you have. Of course, you have a left hemisphere and a right hemisphere, but it's still one brain. It's nothing more than one brain. Don't try to read physics, chemistry, biology, English at the same time. Why are you deceiving? You're deceiving yourself because you won't actually focus on something. You won't actually focus on one thing. It's not going to help you. Just in the exam, it's not going to help you. You may be like, but I'm going to know bits of everything, but how much can you actually recall? In actual sense, how much from that disarray from reading, how much can you actually recall? So focus on one thing at a time. Go through the past questions. Go through exam simulators. Go through difficult topics that you don't know. It's better than trying to read physics, chemistry, biology, English at the same time. It wasn't the case. Background music is even playing behind you. Haba, come on now. That's not effective. That's not effective strategy at all. To my last point, seek support, or from family and friends if you need it. No man's an island. You need the encouragement. You actually need the encouragement. Because another way you should do examinations, having someone close to you, or someone you're close to by you. So before the exam, be with friends that you're close to. If you're writing in the same exam center, that's to just talk. Help ease things out. You know you're not so good in this topic. Don't close yourself off. Don't try to just be your one man. No. Meet another person. Hey, could you teach me this? Could you teach me that? It's gonna help as why you learn from one another and why you build yourself up emotionally. Sincerely, I really wish you the best in this video, in this exam, and I really hope you learned a lot from this video. Hit the like button, the subscribe button, drop your comments, and I really wish you the best in your forthcoming exams.